Hi, and welcome back to the Storytime channel. Till now, we have seen what Thevaram was, is, who are the poets who helped compile them, and the wonderful, fascinating stories of their lives. But did you know that there was a time, 1,000 years back, where they gathered all this Thevaram, wrote them in huge manuscripts, and went and locked them in a room in this temple called Chidambaram? This was done just to safeguard these manuscripts because there were foreign invaders coming in who would most definitely have burnt them all. But what happened was, once they were locked in that room, people forgot about them. They didn't, everyone forgot about the manuscripts and forgot about the songs also. And in course of time, there were just some song here and there that people remembered. But how do we know about it today? Right? We know about it even though it was locked then. So someone released this mystery. Who found out this mystery? And that's what this video is going to be about. We are going to see the story of this famous person called Raja Raja Chozhan, who discovered this wonderful treasure in this temple of Chidambaram. And how did he do it? Let's find out. Now let's first find out a little more about who Raja Raja Chozhan is. People today know him as the greatest king of the Chola dynasty. And not only was he great in name, he did so many things. And one of them was building a temple. He built many temples, and the most famous temple is called the Brihadishvara temple. It is so amazing that you will not be able to create another temple like that today with all the best technology in the world. And he was also an amazing administrator. Everyone in his kingdom were happy, not just his ministers or important people, but even the common subjects were happy. Common man was wealthy and happy. Artisans and craftsmen and traders and everyone had the best life in his rule. But what many people also don't know is that he was also instrumental in retrieving the Devarim from this temple of Chidambaram. But how did he do that? Let's go back in time to a different place. Now, so if you go down Tamil Nadu, Chennai is up there, and then you see Kadlur, and then you have Chidambaram. And below Chidambaram, a little inward from the sea, is this town of Thiruvaiyaru. So, 1,000 years back, it was the usual tradition for kings to come to this temple of Thiruvaiyaru and pray to the god. Now, our crown prince, he's not yet crowned the king, right? So we call him the crown prince. Now, our crown prince comes to the temple and he is taking the blessings of the god. The priests are taking care of him and making sure that the crown prince is getting a good service to be while he's praying the god. And at that moment, there is this person who's sitting outside, a little away from the temple, the inner sanctum, and he is singing a song. Now, our crown prince is fascinated by the song. He's never heard something like this before. Very profound meaning, beautiful lyrics. And he goes and asks him, "What is this called?" And he says, "Oh, this is called the Devaram." "Oh, okay. So, how many songs do you know?" "Maybe 10. "Who taught you?" "My father." "Oh, so he knows a lot of songs?" "Yes, he knows maybe 100. "And whom did your father learn from?" "He learned it from his father. And he knew a little more 100 songs, maybe." "So, do you have a book where you have written these songs?" And this man says, "No, we don't have a book. It just comes by word of mouth, um, from grandfather to father." Okay, and so the crown prince absorbs all of this and leaves after his prayer. He goes on. The next day is his crowning ceremony. And that's the ceremony where he becomes Raja Raja Chozhan. And once he is crowned, oh, it was an amazing procession in the city. People were happy. The people's darling has just become the king. Everyone loved Raja Raja Chozhan. And once his crowning duties and everything were done, he is constantly reminded of what song was sung by this person in the temple. And then he feels he has to do something about this. And so he calls his minister and tells him, I want you to do something. Go out into the city, into the country, and make an announcement. Anyone who has manuscripts of the Thevaram have to come and submit it to the court. This is a treasure that belongs to the kingdom. It is not an individual person's treasure. And so the minister bows down and says, yes, I'll do it. And he leaves. He sends the announcement. All four corners of the country hear this. But even after 4 months, there is not a single manuscript comes into the court. Raja Raja Chozhan is upset. What is happening? What can I do? How do I find this? He doesn't know. He's feeling like he doesn't know what to do. And that's when one of his ministers come to him and tell him, Raja, there is this person in the town of Thirunarayur, a little away from here, and this person is said to be able to talk to this idol of Ganesha called Pollaplayar. And the king starts laughing like anything. What? Talk to the idol? That's not possible. How can anyone talk to an idol? I know it's a Ganesha idol, but still. And the minister says, no, Raja, you don't laugh too soon. It's actually true. This boy, young lad, he actually can talk to Playar or Ganesha. And now Raja Raja Chozhan is like, okay, you know what? Let's just go and see him. Let's go find out a little more about him. And so, who is this boy? Who is this boy who can talk to Playar? Let's find out in our next video. Until then, bye and see you next time.